All right, what's up, everybody? This is going to be your Bill Collective Season 1 premiere. I don't know if this is actually meant to be the first episode or not, but I'm doing it anyway. I know I had it scheduled to come out like 14 minutes from now, but I'm just going to go ahead and do it now so I get out of the way because I actually have other things to do today between going to the store with some family and also getting ready for the live stream with Scotty by Nature TV to do the panel. So there's that. And also I just got done watching this episode. I thought it was going to take longer, which is why I scheduled this for a couple minutes in the future. But I got finished. So here we go. Just going to go ahead and give this to you all. I do want to preface this with for the ladies, if y'all happen to see this review, know and understand that one, I am critical. So in this particular review and upcoming episodes, I will be very, very critical. One thing that I'm going to do with this show, because it's brand new that I haven't done for other shows, is I'll give you a bone and try to help you out with some storylines. So I don't know what we're going to truly see, but if we see it, cool. If we don't, I'm giving you some advice for season 2 because I do want y'all to come back for season 2. Hell, I want everybody to win. Damn it. Okay. So we start off with Tambra. She is a radio personality. She wants to be a full-time host. She wants to be international. She interviews the Jacksonville mayor. I think is Shokwi. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I probably should have rewatched that just to get his name down packed, but forgive me. She talks. One thing that I know is that she talks very fast, and she doesn't enunciate. And that is something that I think for her, she should probably work on. I talk fast, but that's because I have a background in air traffic control. And there are times that y'all seen me doing my videos that I tend to sometimes stumble over my words because, again, I'm trying to get things out, but that's because I'm trying to, for the most part, give you guys somewhat of a condensed review. Unless I have something that I need to pontificate on, then there's that. And you have to be able, if you're going to talk fast, to be able to enunciate so that people can understand every word that you are saying so you don't have to repeat it, just like I did just then to prove a point. Because for me being an air traffic controller and having to read off clearances, you need to read them off at a pretty speedy pace, especially if you're working at a dense heliport, airfield, base field, stage field, or an airport. Especially if you have dense traffic, you don't have the luxury to go back and read a clearance a second, third, or fourth time if you didn't do anything. Now, if the pilot didn't hear it, cool. But if it's because you didn't clearly make it known what it was that you're saying, you don't always have those luxuries. So what I would like for her is, especially if you're going to be interviewing people of stature and status, which this should go for everyone, but especially for them, is be very cognizant of how you are talking, because it seems like not a lot of the women, but in this instance, it seemed like she was putting a little extra on. And being a radio personality, I can see why you do that. I can see why you do that. But I'm just saying, just be very, very cognizant. And when you are interviewing someone that has some stature, tone it down just a bit, but ensure that you are, taking the time to enunciate and speak as clearly as you possibly can to make it to where, especially if you want to be international, do it in such a way that it can really reach the masses. So that right there is just a tidbit. And they speak on the Confederate Confederate flag coming down, and pretty much what that meant. So then we get Leticia. She is a wife and a mother. Just know that I'm probably just gonna call her Tisha. Ain't no disrespect, but again, this is a brand new series, and because I'm about to sit here, start picking up some other series, amongst other things, it's gonna be a little difficult to keep all these different new faces, and it's gonna be a little bit difficult. Damn it. But she's a wife and a mother. She is a CEO of National Women's Brunch. She mentions how they have a street called Fair Street, where back in the day, in essence, you would consider it to be the Black Wall Street, but it isn't like that anymore. And she wants to buy back the block. Now, one thing that I will say is, I'm a firm believer of don't tell your right hand what your left hand is doing. In addition to that, also, how can I say, don't put things out there until literally you're ready to move on to that next piece. So side note, for those of you who watch P Valley with I believe Mercedes, her wanting to do this school and all the boasting and bragging that she was doing, she had every right to. She put all this out there before the money was given so she can actually have the property. And how quickly they came back to buy her in the behind because her mother took the money and bought the property, or rented or leased the property to have her own church. And what came of that. So I'm saying all this to say is you don't want to do that, especially for those of us who are spiritual or religious. If that's what you are, I choose to stay more with the spiritual. You never want to release things into the air to where a plan can be intercepted. So I felt like something like this, and I got it's for the show. But in doing that, if there are any people that don't want you to have that, especially trying to make this into a Black Wall Street type of thing, you are going to face opposition in the process. Trust me when I say, and I'll talk more on that in a bit. So her husband name is Glenn. He is a towboater. He's going 28 days. He's home for 14. Also with her personality, especially in the confessionals, comes off being putting 20 on 10. And we can see that there may possibly be this season issues with him and being away from home. But here's something I want to say for all the ladies, like a lot of men do have jobs that take them away. Like I have a lot of friends that drive trucks. I know some that drive trucks locally in terms of delivering packages like Walmart, Target stores like that. And you have others that go across the US to deliver them. And this is one of those where if this is a job that your partner had before y'all really sat down and got married, you got to take the good with the bad, especially if it's bringing in the money to keep y'all afloat and doing what it is that y'all need to do. And she even brought up possible infidelity. Don't necessarily know if there is infidelity, but a chance that, women are throwing themselves at him. We shall see. So I'm pretty sure that's going to come up. I'm just going to say I hope that does not become a running storyline for the two of them. And she shows her breasts. One is called Mercy, one is called Grace. Okay, cool, whatever. So we get to Latrice. She is a self-made millionaire and owner of Goddess Length Virgin Hair. She says they're the number one vendor in the southern region. She was able to package her bundles and put it into vending machines for people to get them from other locations like malls and whatnot, rather than just coming to her store. Someone recorded the activity, sent it to their higher up, so she has a contract to have them in multiple malls and whatnot, which is definitely a good thing. She even mentioned that she got an email saying that they had low inventory, and you can see her putting this off on some of her staff. Now we don't know of the staff who might be store manager, this, that, and the third, but that kind of comes off as her trying to push the responsibility off on other people, which if that is what you're doing, that's not really a good thing. You don't want to sit here and try to push blame. And if you do have such a business as this, where you do have the whole vending machines, this is something where in the process of getting ready to do this venture, you should have accounted for what your businesses were doing and made sure that you have the stock. And also when you put a vending machine up like this, I'm giving y'all a little bit of some business right here. If you do have that up, you should have a representative in that mall to see what the sales are looking like and be able to gauge when you should have somebody go and restock it. But again, this all falls on you. So as a woman, as a boss, as a manager, all of this, again, everything starts from the top down. A fish stinks starting at the head. So you kind of have to take some of that responsibility for yourself. So one thing I did notice is this is definitely during the pandemic, and her staff are not wearing protection, masks and whatnot, but the customers are. I have a problem with that. Now, I do understand that they are shooting a scene, which is perfectly fine, but it would have been nice for them to have initially had face masks on and then taken them off, or had a face shield, something like that, before conversing. Because yes, like if I have on my face mask, that is one layer of protection. But if someone that has provided a service for me has on a face mask, it just makes everything better. So I kind of had some pause with that. She asked about after hours activities, and one of her employees says that well, if you want to go out and check with your daddy. And she said, and she kind of had a bit of an issue with that because daddy being her husband. And they say they wanted to invite her, but they didn't because she says, because what? So then her husband walks in and the guy says, that's why. And I'm like, oh, ooh, ooh, ooh. But I don't think her husband heard that particular piece. So her husband, his name is Cliff. He is 20 years her senior. They have been married for, I believe she said 5 years, dating for 10. And one thing that I noticed is with the whole 20-year gap, that either means that he is a late baby boomer or he would be an early generation X, which gives, because again, that gives me a mind frame in terms of the conversation that they had following this little piece right here. So she pretty much made it clear that they are somewhat of a package deal where if you see her, you see him. If you see him, you see her. And that kind of gives me a bit of that Kiki Y syndrome for those who watch R&B Divas, where Kiki could never be without her husband. There's a bit of codependency there. That kind of raises an alarm for me, but then it also kind of gives me this whole vision of going to Real Housewives of Potomac with Karen and Ray, where you have a man that is older and he's kind of raising you to his hand. Again, a little bit iffy. But she brings up Leticia's brunch, and he's pretty much cool with it. His thing is like, as long as going to the club, come back in at 2 a.m. in the morning. And for him to say that does, that there is a point of contention there. Hopefully y'all caught that. And she says that she feels that these women are so fake with this whole women empowerment thing. And when she said women empowerment, I automatically went to Jocelyn Hernandez from Love and Hip Hop fame saying women's empowerment. I laughed at that. I really, really did. And when she said, hold on, did I miss that part? All right. Okay. And then she said there's a rumor of the women going to these brunches and being attacked by each other. And she said this in her confessional, which is a foreshadow of something that we are going to see. So I don't know if that is something that she necessarily heard or that was just her kind of piecing the stuff together in her confessional. She says that her husband likes to think, so she actually says to her husband, because so the faith thing was in the confessional. She says to her husband that, they're all kind of fake. And he says, oh, well, you would fit right in. She ain't like that shit. She did not. And she says in her confessional, she feels that he should uphold her as a wife. Now, she didn't say this to him, but in her confessional. So what I got from that is she was saying that he needs to stand by her when these damn cameras are on. But because she called him daddy, which is slightly alarming, and because of the 20-year age difference, you're not going to say that to his face. You're not. But if that's truly how you felt, you should have said that to him. But okay, you want him to see it on the playback. That's cool. So then we get introduced to Marie. She is a multi-million. She's a multi-million dollar business owner of a mental health facility, which when I heard that, I'm like, that is great. That is great because mental health is definitely something that needs to be tackled and addressed within the African-American community. And y'all may not agree with this, but I feel that all African-Americans should go and, be seen for this, because a lot of us, especially if you do research on DNA and how the stressors of slavery impacts us currently, whether we know it or not, and what our parents, grandparents, great-grandparents went through and how a lot of the ideology is passed down, blah, 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 blah. Some of us need to go see a damn therapist or something along those lines. She says that she runs Mississippi. And one thing that I'm starting to notice is a lot of these women are bragging, which they have every right to, but I'm really starting to get this sense of that they are very empty and it's a lot of vanity where you have to sit here and prove yourself, because I'm gonna let y'all know something. People that are rich have to brag on what they have. People that are wealthy don't. People that are wealthy will let you see what they have. Where it's just like, oh, I have this, $50 million house. There'll be somebody that's rich. Somebody that has a $50 million house will invite you over and just let you see what they have without having to sit here and tell you what they have. I'm just saying, again, I know a little something. So her husband's name is Cedric. They've been married for 3 years. and they've had some rough patches. She's trying to be a super mom and a super grandma, so I feel like this is going to come up later on in the season. She's working on her PhD, which is very, very great. But she made it a point to say she will soon be doctor. So you can kind of see that, of course, labels and whatnot. She holds very, very near and dear, and it's all about a perception. Which this seems very, very much Real Housewives of Potomac seasons 1 and 2. So I feel like we probably won't get the realness of this cast until maybe like season 3 or 4, and I hope they get a plethora of seasons, down the line. I really, really hope so. Let me see. Essie is her business partner. They are trying to open up a second. Well, they're right now working on a second facility, but they want more facilities, bigger locations. She wants to add a substance abuse department to, I guess we can call this a clinic, if you will, because her mother suffered from it and she hasn't understood it and wonders why her mother chose substance abuse over her children, which again, this is definitely something that is going to humanize her and something that we need to see. But one thing that this also leans to, and again, for those of y'all who listening to me, I want y'all to listen to me clearly. One of the best things you can do in this lifetime, especially if you have your parents and especially if you have your grandparents with you, is to learn what they like, learn their generations and learn what they had to deal with. Because I've said this to my middle brother a lot of the time, is that what we do, more or less, our particular relatives, is we want to be understood rather than seek understanding. And sometimes in understanding a person and what their generation went through, it gives you a better insight to how they conduct themselves. No, it doesn't make everything they said or did right, but it helps you to really put things into perspective. And in learning from their mindset and what they went through and what their generation went through, it kind of helps you to get those pieces that you need to break generational curses. Again, I know something because I've seen a thing or two, experienced a thing or two, been through a thing or two. I'm trying to tell you. And even with the substance abuse, I feel there's a lot to unpack there. And maybe we'll see her mother, because it's probably a lot that happened. More than likely, there's a lot that happened. So we'll see. We get Antoinette. She is a dentist that is originally from Michigan. See, I told y'all, talk fast. I sometimes blur and kind of connect my words and stuff. But again, we here to have fun and whatnot. I'm not on a reality TV show yet. I feel if I was on one, that it would be on and popping, baby. So she even says that with that representation matters, which is very, very, very much a great thing. It's very paramount. That representation matters. What I will say is, and this is me going off on a tangent, and I guess I'll get on a soapbox, is I do feel that for a lot of people, they come from underprivileged areas, from ghettos and hoods and things of that nature. That is, it's good to, get on and then leave, but it's more powerful rather than just having a platform of speaking out on it, to come back to your neighborhood and let people see you. Because I'm back where I grew up. And even though I'm not working currently in the field of air traffic control or, small drones, I do have those backgrounds, and being able to let people within the community see that I came from here, I did leave here. And this is what I was able to obtain and become, and physically being back within the community, speak volumes, because now they can physically see and touch someone that is different. Because other than that, what they have, Pookie Nim, that is a drug dealer, drug lord, and this is what they aspire to. And because you don't have these things that are relative, and yes, representation matters, and you don't see this a lot on television, it's one of those where a lot of African American children will lean more towards, being a sports player or going towards that quick money, because that's all that they see. That is all that they know. So yes, representation matters, but placement also matters also. But that's something that we can discuss at a different time. She's newly single. She doesn't talk about it because marriage in itself is very important, because there are a lot of Southern ideals that people tend to hold pair about. That's all for them. And she was together with her ex for 7 years, but they were married for 3. He happens to be European American. And she even had mentioned that people would say things to her because, you know, she has dated to date outside of her ethnicity. You love who you love. It is what it is. But at the same exact time, I'll get to it in a second. I'll get to it in a second. She's opening up her own practice. She says her contractor Ty is easy on the eyes. And, you know, this is when she really brought up dating outside of the ethnicity. And it does lead people to believe that if your ex-husband is European American and you have the googly eyes for your contractor who happens to be European American, are you feeding into this stereotype? Now, again, you love who you love, but we've yet to hear her degrade African American men. So she just has preference. There's no hate there. I don't know. I'm kind of giving her the side eye just a little bit, smidge. And he even says that the budget is $500,000. She speaks with her father. Her father brings up her ex-husband, whatever. And she wants her father to look at her and be proud and doesn't want him to worry about her. And with this renovation being $500,000 and her being a dentist, what I'll say is I wonder if she has sat down and talked with someone that has opened up their own practice, people that have opened up their own business, because again, as a doctor, I would like to assume or, you know, conclude that she makes decent money, and that leads me to believe that you have enough money saved up for this renovation. Did you take out a loan? It's a whole lot that comes with it. And I would hate for this young African-American woman to have to, you know, default because she ain't take care of her business. Okay. So now we got Leticia. She hasn't secured her host, and Tombra normally is her host, but has a prior engagement, and she meets with her hoping that she would change her mind. Now, going back to the whole business side of things, again, I don't know how long in advance that she had this brunch plan. Part of me feels that it was just a spur of the moment thing for production, but I could be wrong. But this also goes back to that whole businesses and business practice where, and maybe this is the Capricorn to me, you can ask anybody that knows me. If I'm planning something, I plan months in advance. Even if it's something that is minute, I plan in advance. And I make sure that I's are dotted, T's are crossed, there's a period here, comma here, semicolon here. Like everything has to be done in a certain way, because if I'm hosting it, my name is on it. And also, I'm one of those where being in the military, we have a thing called a PACE plan, which is you have your primary, your alternate, your contingency, and your emergency. I tend to have that, and sometimes but what we like to say in layman's term is a plan A, plan B, plan C. Most people just have a plan A and sometimes a plan B. I sometimes have a plan G, because my thing is things will go off without a hitch. It just is what it is. I ain't got time for the BS, especially if my name is on it. I've hosted many parties, and just when I say people leave, granted, I have had some where people that came in with some effed up energy, things go bad. But for the little parties and things that I host as the host and the creator, things go off without a hitch. I'm just saying. Again, I know a thing or two, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. So and the brunch and when she was doing it, she said the brunch was tomorrow. So that's one of those where if you're trying to encourage these women to help you buy this block, but things are kind of piss poor in terms of the management, in terms of who's going to host what, that's not going to sit well with people wanting to support you. What happened? Okay, I might want to put this on silence right quick. Let's see what else we got, because I damn it lost my damn place. So Tisha asked her about her life her love life, because no one knows. And this is one of those where even if you're good friends with somebody, if somebody doesn't bring up certain aspects of their life, you shouldn't be prying. Like let if the person wants you to know, they'll let you know. But it seemed like she was prying because she was trying to get that footage on the air. She gives her a church hat, trying to persuade her to come, but she's not coming. And then she talks about her plan. Now, one thing that I will say is that if she is trying to buy back this block or a certain amount of blocks, what she needs to ensure that she does. And Leticia, I hope if you're listening, baby, I'm giving you something right now. You need to ensure that if you want this to be very self-sustaining, that there needs to be some place that gives food, a grocery store, but not just that, ensuring that since you are in the crooked letter, you are in the South, that y'all are reaching out to farmers, primarily African owned if you can, ensure that you get it from that way, ensuring that if things close down and people block you, that you can still get what you need to provide for the community. You also need to ensure there is some health given. So healthcare, not just mental health, but medical, amongst other things. Make sure there is a hospital that is in that area to give what is needed. Also finances, so a bank, things of that nature. There also needs to be education, schooling. So if you really want to buy back this block, you need to ensure that you are creating something that will give back to the community, and not just buying this block to put boutiques and things out there. So again, I'm throwing you a bone right now. Again, I'm giving you this for free, for the free 99, baby. That's what you're getting right now. So we get Antoinette. She is buying a car and Latrice is with her. This is supposedly supposed to be a divorce Porsche. And, she wants him to kind of see her the next time. Like she wants to be riding in this car the next time that he see her. Again, that shows right there that y'all have some issues, but that shows that there is some emptiness there. Why are you trying to stun on this dude? Again, a lot of things to be questioned and to be desired. She also wanted, if she were to purchase this vehicle, which I don't think that she did, to stunt on the woman when she gets to the brunch. But again, why are you trying to stunt on some people? And again, you are equating your worth to a monetary value. I got an issue with that. But again, do you, boo-boo? You got more money than me. Antoinette feels that this brunch is for women to say that I'm a big deal, but you need to be a big deal first so we can hear what you have to say. And that is one of those where that's a very closed mind way of thinking, because even if I go to a brunch, though I don't have much, for those of y'all who watch me, I have life experiences and I have knowledge that a lot of people don't have. Again, I tell you, I'm an old soul, and I'm pretty sure I've been here before. But just because somebody does not monetarily have what you have, somebody may have a successful business. It may not be on the level that you have, but they may have success there. And again, we are falling into this patriarchal society, a society that is ran by the dominant society, and you trying to assimilate into being that and trying to equate their values to the women that are around you. I do have my issues with that, but I really hope that part of this is just for a storyline. And if it's not, for my beloveds, I really hope that y'all hear the reviewers and y'all can take some of this, refine yourselves for season 2. So we get to the brunch day. Marie wants all eyes to be on her, which again, that's one of those stunt type things where, first and foremost, Marie, this event is not about you. So the fact that you are trying to come in with this dress and this hat to have all eyes on you, that says a whole lot about you. And that leads me to believe there is an emptiness there. You feel that you need to be validated, feel that you need to be accepted, that you want all eyes on you. You should be able to go to an event that has, now, mind you, be your best dress. But for you to have to come to an event to show off and stunt and take all the attention, not only off the hostess, but to take all the attention off of why y'all are there. Again, that leads me to think that there's some stuff brewing there. Okay. I'm a little iffy about it. She had a wig that was made out of goddess length, but says that it's dry and that it's brittle. And she feels that she's going to bring this up at the brunch. Now, obviously, this is a reality TV show and things are being done for production. But again, for all of us who have good sense, a brunch that is supposed to be about women's empowerment or just the empowerment of a person in general, that is not the place to sit here and bring up a gripe that you have as a customer. And if that was the place, how about when the brunch was over, pull this woman to a side, businesswoman to businesswoman, and talk about your gripes then rather than right then and there. So I'm really having to side eye you. And again, if we look at this from the lens of this is a reality TV show, I'm cool with it. I'm real cool with it. But if we're talking about real life etiquette amongst and all the other stuff, wrong time. So it's mentioned that this is at a country club, and people that have money this and they're doing a country club. My thing is this: first and foremost, we all know that a country club primarily isn't owned by us, but is it black owned? And with that being said, how about since y'all are all about black wealth and encouraging the money to be circulated within the African American community, how about this be held in the African American location. But again, whatever. Antoinette sees that she's not dressed like the other women. Now, this is because she is from Michigan. She's from the Midwest, and she's now in the South. And they have this whole Southern Belle thing, which I don't like that, because as African Americans, period, I'm African American man, but for the African American women, why are you trying to sit here and idolize and hold up this whole stature of this whole Belle thing that is not inherently African American, but that is European American, which seems that I ain't even going down. I ain't even finna do that tonight. I said tonight. It's still in the day. I'm gonna move on, but I hope y'all picking up what I'm putting down. So they start off with them picking up mirrors, looking at themselves, and saying that you are popping. All things will happen to me, and you have Latrice that is like, well, this is good, and all this other stuff, and it's like just be in the moment. But of course, we all know that confessionals are shot after the season, or I should say after scenes are already been produced. So her, agitation is really not with what's going on right now. So Marie isn't happy with Antoinette and Latrice's attire, which comes off as being very elitist. And also, if you really pay attention to age groups, you can see, and again, I'll talk about generation timelines a lot. You can see that Antoinette and Latrice, I will be willing to bet money that they are Generation Y, aka millennials, true millennials, and that let me see, what's it, Marie, Tisha, they are more than likely Generation X. So you can see that there is a bit of a snobbiness, a whole looking down your nose. And it's a brunch, baby. I get it. It's a Belle brunch, but here's one of those things where people expect you to break the bank to look a certain way. And if they weren't told that they need to come looking a certain way, why are you looking your nose down at them? It's really making you come off as being very, very snobby. And I'm going to say this, and trust me when I say, see, whether you believe in God, in just a pure sense of whatever, the God or the universe has a great way in humbling people. I'm going to just say that. So anyway, so one of the girls that is sitting adjacent to Latrice and Antoinette is wearing Latrice's hair, and she makes a comment that, yeah, this is my hair, and Marie feels that this is the perfect time to sit here and bring up her grievances. And Latrice is saying to her, well, baby, you probably went to the wrong store, because that obviously is my hair. But what she said is, I bought this hair, I took it to someone, and this is the unit that I got back. And part of me feels that maybe, just maybe, isn't your issue. It's the person that did the hair for you that might be your issue. That I took it to this person, and this is what I got back. It probably isn't Latrice, but of course, we are producing a reality show. This is a scene. This is what we're doing. And Marie says in her confessional that she is rich and she can buy all of her stock. And again, it's coming off. And again, I'm here for it, but I'm one of those where rather than me sit here and tell you what I have, I'm going to just let you see what I have. I'm going to let what I have speak for itself, because the fact that you have to speak on what you have and what you can do, it comes off as being it shows that you're shallow. Because there was a scene with Candy, Housewives. I forget what season it was. It might have been 7, but it was the season that had the little the pajama party thing that went wrong. And Candy has said at the table with old girl that was saying that Ty was for the come up, and she said, let me know that I'm a hot bitch. And even at one reunion, she said, okay, and she was saying tomorrow that, okay, well, you know what? Yeah, okay, cool. I'm a madam. I'm this. I'm that. I'm a sugar mama. I have enough money to sit here and take care of all of y'all asses if I choose to. And that's out of defense, rather than just coming on saying, look what I got, look what I got, look what I got. But we all know the Candy's frugal in the motherfucker, but I like Candy. Latrice says that, when she's done with her hair, with her unit, she'll give it to her. And I'm kind of like, that comes off as a little bit tasteless. She calls Marie Little Bo Peep. And she even said, like, well, you know what? If you bought this from my store, I want to see a receipt. Tisha tries to come in and do damage control because she hasn't even told the women what her vision is just yet. Latrice decides that she wants to leave. She take Antoinette with her. Marie says, she's not surprised that Latrice got up and left because she's nothing but a poodle. They're all bark and no bite. And I mean, I expect Antoinette to go with her. And that is pretty much the episode. So I gave y'all a lot because, again, this is, a premiere. And, typically with the first episode, you meet the people having to sit here and break some stuff down. I wanted to make sure that I gave a little extra. So in the event that these women happen to see this is coming from somebody that watches a lot of reality TV shows, trying to give y'all a little something to help y'all for a subsequent season. I really hope they get a season 2. I really do. First season, I believe this is a Carlos King production, and it seems like it's gonna be good, and I cannot wait. I don't know what is it? I believe let me look on my calendar on here right quick. Hey, wait, give me one second. Okay, hold on. The name threw me out. I know. I was in one of your chats and you saw the name. You didn't even know it was me. I know. I said I was gonna change it because everybody want to call me, Ya'Realcrates. So Ya'Crates sounds good. I'm glad you did. I saw that you shared the video. I appreciate you, love. But the show comes out, I believe, either the 15th or the 22nd. I believe it's the 15th. So I don't know if we're going to get this particular episode yet again. But if we do, here it is. If we don't, then I will come back for that review. So I appreciate all of you for watching. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this. Again, if the ladies happen to see this, I hope that y'all can take this as constructive criticism, because I don't know y'all personally. And y'all ain't been on long enough for me to sit here and hate or, like any one of y'all. But yeah, that is all that I have for those. Well, since Really B is here, I'm pretty sure that she's going to have her tribe meeting. Well, Really B, if you're still here, can you put the time down? Because I think it's going to be 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern. Hopefully she'll put that down right quick. I will also be on Scotty by Nature's panel tonight. I know we're going to discuss Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I think we're going to talk about the Belle Collective and the issue with. See, Terrence, you late? Yeah, you missed it, bro. You missed it. I mean, we at the very end though. But Scotty by Nature TV's channel. The panel should be 9 o'clock. Well, it's 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock Central. I'm Central time. So I hope to see you all there. We're going to sit here. We're going to chat up. We're going to have a good time. I'm pretty sure we're going to talk about this, Housewives of Atlanta, and the issues with Caesar from Black Ink Crew and his girlfriend and daughter. So, yeah, that's it. So that is all that I have. I done sat here. I done kept y'all long enough. We almost at 40 minutes. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you all tonight. Peace.